Welcome, guys, to the live stream. We are live here on a Saturday night, and I totally forgot to turn the Chronos timer on, so I switched the scene there from the prep screen to the launch screen. Yeah, I totally forgot to put the timer on. It's a separate little application that kind of runs in the background that loads that little bit. Well, technical glitches are going to happen, I guess. That does happen on a regular basis, especially with me, because I'm kind of a scrub when it comes to doing all this. It is what it is. Prep your ears, because this is going to get loud for a second while I load this playlist. Oh, it didn't. Thank goodness. Most of the time, when I first click on that playlist, it like jumps to max volume and then drops back down again. I don't know why it does that. It is annoying as heck. We're back tonight playing some more Satisfactory. We're going to head right over to the game window, which is this one. And all of the Petroleum Coke is now done. And I have it all being dumped into Awesome Sinks where it belongs, at the far end of the factory on the west side. That is all done. Everything is working. I had a couple of little glitches that I had to fix with like flow issues. I'm hoping I've got them resolved. There might be the occasional production line that's not doing the Petroleum Coke as well as I think it should be. Let's turn the fog off on here so you don't have to look at that. Fog is off. Afraid, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
So here it is. We have 7 full rows of 24 high conveyors, which, what's the math on that? That's 7 times 24, 168 conveyors times 1,200 items, 201,600 Petroleum Coke, all being dumped into Awesome Sinks, sitting right here at our base. And Awesome Sink ticket-wise, I'm up to a, nice, 1,069 of the Awesome Sink tickets so far, just on us dumping raw materials into the Awesome Sink is all that's doing. So every single oil node's been converted into heavy oil residue and then converted into Petroleum Coke so that we can use this to make aluminum scrap here in a bit. So now what do we got to do? We got to focus on, if I bring up the little to-do list here, zoink. Bauxite node gathered, SAM nodes gathered, reanimated SAM crafted, Caterium nodes gathered, Caterium converted into bauxite, that's done. Copper nodes gathered, Copper converted into bauxite, that's done. All oil nodes turned into heavy oil residue, that's done. Crafted petroleum coke is done. I did swap those two items. So those have been swapped around on the to-do list. So now it is alumina solution is what we're going to be diving into now. Is kind of our next little to-do section. And making alumina solution is, of course, we need to have some type of a prep area that's going to work for that. And I'm going to start with the actual raw bauxite that we've got in these awesome sinks that are here. These awesome sinks are the ones that are dumping just for the nodes. And then all of the awesome sinks that are up the side of each of these conversion towers, they're the additional bauxite nodes. So there's like, there's a lot. I think there's like 60 or 70 additional conveyors there. And we've got our 12 or so conveyors here that we're going to be dealing with. But that's what I'm going to start on. So I'm basically, wherever I can put a water extractor in is kind of where I'm going to be leaning to where we're going to start building this. And so I'm just going to have to grab one of these because there is some areas in here that are dead zones. Like you can see where I'm out here right now. It says invalid aim. But as I start heading towards the east, all of a sudden it'll pop up in front of us and we can start building. And it should pop up here any second. There we go. So here, this distance here, we can start building. So I can build out that way with the machines that don't require water. But this is kind of our start point. So we're going to have to, I got to mark this out. And so that we can put the water extractors in the right location. Because we're going to need a lot of water starting off as we start converting all of this. And I didn't want vertical, I wanted zoop. There we go. I wanted to zoop it. And of course, this is going to be, we're just going to be kind of working through this as we go. Because I don't really have a plan as to what this factory is going to look like yet. So I'm only going to deal with one conveyor belt to kind of start with, and then we'll go from there and see, okay, I think we've got a plan and how we're going to deal with it so that we can start mass producing it for all the rest of the conveyor lines. So, okay, so I'm putting out this little platform here so that I can measure out as far over we can put the water extractor. So all of this here works, not there. So I can't build there, but I can at that point. So I'm going to mark that. And how many squares does that give us? That is 4 squares wide. Okay, so we're going to delete out this. And we're going to delete out, well, anything beyond that is going to be fine. But we're going to delete this section all out because I don't need it now because we've got it marked. We'll put a row like that and a row like this. So now going forward, when I put the water extractors in, they're going to go facing this way. Oh, it can't. To have it face that way, I need it here. Okay, so it's good that we're working this out now. It's going based off the spout. Like if you look underwater here, there's a spout here. That's got to be in a certain location for it to work. Outside that build area, for whatever reason, it's not allowing it. So we'll just do this. We'll move that all back just one foundation, and then we should be golden at that point. Out 10. And that's not even exactly where I want to put the water extractor, so... In fact, it is slightly too close there, so I'm just going to back this up a little bit more. I want it just one block out, and then I don't even know if that's where it's going to stay, but at least we know kind of where our build pattern is. We can continue this line straight out that way, and I know I can put water extractors in there. And everything that's to the west of this is clear open building for factories. So we're going to be just building this all out as much as we can. What I might end up doing is I could easily like put a water extractor, depending on what the spacing is going to be, is put water extractors down and then run them through under a factory layer to be able to feed factories further back in this. Try to utilize as much as the water space that I can, and then, you know, try to keep the building areas in parts that I'm not going to be impacting where I can put water extractors. Okay, so then the next thing I need to do is we got to build this up a layer. So we're putting it up one and right on top of that. So that is this is our factory height. When we start building this. Again, no real plan here. We're designing how the factory is going to look right now. And I think you're going to leave this area open. Okay, let's grab a refinery now. It's going to go right there, and I want to see what we've got for... We're going to be using the recipe sloppy alumina solution. Reason for this is the standard one. What is... That makes 5. This makes... This ends up leaving us with a bunch of excess. Which one of these is actually the better way to go? Hold on. This leaves us with silica as a waste, consumes 18 water and 12 bauxite. This consumes less bauxite, but gets us... Okay, yeah, so sloppy alumina solution is the way we want to go with this, because it only consumes 10 bauxite to get us the 12 cubic meters of alumina solution. So then that just is going to end up working out a lot better mathematically for us. We'll be able to use less bauxite to produce more alumina solution. And then this is, again, it's consuming less water, but that's not really a big deal. And then because we're not going to be using the silica at all in our recipe going forward from this, because we are going to be using, let's see, I think it's in a refinery. Not a refinery, a foundry. We smelt. We're making the alumina ingots. I know there's an alternate recipe that we can get where we're not using silica for it. I just got to try to remember which one of them it is. I don't think it's the... Oh no, it's refined again, I think it is. Is there a refinery recipe? Yes, there is. No, that's iron. That's iron. I know that there's a recipe that doesn't require silica. I just got to try to remember what machine it was. Why can't I remember it? It's got to be the foundry. So that's iron, basic iron, steel, alumina ingots, but that's requiring silica, and we don't want silica. Is it assembled? I don't think it's assembled. I think that would be wrong. I know there's a recipe out there. It's not smelted, I don't think. Oh, I guess it would be pure aluminum ingots. Where we smelt the... Is that the way we were going, was smelting it? Okay, I'm gonna have to jump to the wiki and look at the recipes for making the aluminum ingots. Satisfactory wiki. Okay, let's have a look here. We are aluminum ingot. I guess pure aluminum ingot is the only other. Yeah, it is. It's just run in a smelter. Man, that's going to be a crap ton of smelters we're going to be using. All right, it is. How's it going tonight? All right. Like, we got a bunch of snow, about maybe 4 inches of snow last night. It's kind of cold as crap outside. Not like really cold, but cold enough that I don't want to be out there. All in all, pretty quiet. Watched some TV today. Okay, so we are going with sloppy alumina solution. And how are we overclocking this? Let's have a look at this. What does one overclock do? That gets us 300 water. If we do that, which is... And then that produces 360 alumina solution. That's 240. What if we get to 100 alumina solution? How much water and bauxite is that? That doesn't add up very well. Okay, what if we crank this right up to 500 bauxite, 500 water, gets us 600 alumina solution? I think you got 84 inches of snow? That is... Or, no, we got 4 inches of snow, not 84. 4 inches. If you got 84, holy snapper. We only got about 4 inches of snow. 84 inches, Jesus. What? That's like 8 feet, isn't it? 7 feet. That's insane. Okay, so this is basically going to be like one... Well, how much can we overclock these water extractors? This is the other problem. That's a lot of water. So we get 300... I need to underclock that to 250 per minute. And it's 2 water extractors at that to do 1 refinery to make 600 alumina solution. Oh my God. There's going to be so many water extractors everywhere. How am I going to make this look good for a build? Because there's your water extractors for not even half of a line of bauxite. We are in for 12 to 18 inches there. Well, that's a pretty good shot of snow. I think our snow is done now, so. Damn, this is going to be insane. So what is this going to look like if we put down 2 water extractors and then we throw in 1 refinery here? How can I make this look so that it's not... lopsided and weird, or take up a huge amount of real estate? I think what I'm going to end up having to do is we've got to put down our refinery at this point with our input, We are setting this to sloppy alumina, and we were cranking this right up. Okay, so that's one node, and then I need to spin this around like so. And then this needs to be electrode scrap aluminum. Okay, we got to delete this, delete that. Add this. What if I make this to 500? Wait, this can be... No, I can't do this. I got to rethink this more. Because I can summer sloop this, which now that's 1200 alumina solution. So I need to get this down to 300. So I don't need those. So that's only 250 bauxite, 250 water. Okay, this is getting more reasonable to deal with because I can set this to 250. And then it becomes 600 alumina solution. I can work with this. So then on the output side of this, if I spin this around and we set this to electrode, and we have, can I get that input up to, oh, it only goes up to 450. So we're still going to have to break this down to, I think we're making 500 scrap aluminum, which I can double. Let's summer sloop this now right away. So that's 1,000 scrap aluminum. 350 water we got to deal with. Oh boy. This may be an absolute nightmare. Is there a space elevator here? No, I don't have the space elevator built because I don't need it for what I'm working on. It's the damn scrap water that's going to be the problem. Because this is because this will have to split off into 2 lines. Bauxite and water, and then it produces 750 water that we got to get rid of. How am I getting rid of that water? Okay, but you're not going to sell any products to get better equipment? No, I've already got everything is all completely unlocked at me. I don't need to, like, everything is being dumped into Awesome Sinks with just me tickets so that I can buy trophies with it. That's all I'm using, because this game mode that I've set up on here is basically everything's unlocked, all recipes unlocked. And I mean, the space elevator technically is already phase 5 and built. Like, it's a separate game setup that I've done on this just to do this challenge. So that's going to make 2,000 scrap aluminum. So basically it's another one of these and then 2 more of these. I think we're better off if we actually plan on centering this. Oh, my brain is going into overtime here thinking about how exactly we're going to pull this off. And the big thing is going to be dealing with the scrap, the wastewater. Like this creates 700. God, am I even going to be able to deal with the wastewater? I'm going to have to consume it. I'm going to have to use it as water for the next part. Now, is there a way I can build a water collection system? Man, I gotta do something in case your reach somehow. If you get ahead, you have fun. Do what you gotta do. I'm gonna sit here and scratch my head and figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this plan of attack. I didn't think it was gonna be this much water as the waste output. See, technically, I could definitely use that water for like the next one. But we're exponentially just going to keep growing more and more water. No, we got to find a way to deal with it. What am I going to do? Okay, what is the recipe for wet concrete? Let me look at that. Select a recipe, and we want wet concrete. Crank this right up. That uses 250 water. This doesn't need to be awesome synced. I don't care about the concrete. So it doesn't quite use... Man, I gotta double this up. To consume the water. Just making more room here as I think this out. Change the recipe to wet concrete. And this maxed out with no summer sloop because we don't need that there. That's going to consume 300 limestone and only consume 250 of the water. Dang. Okay. Is there a way to make alumina solution or scrap aluminum without wastewater? I don't think there is. All of the recipes for scrap aluminum ends up producing some kind of wastewater. Well, I guess we just kind of cross that bridge as we go, right? We need to get rid of 350 water somehow. And right now, the best way to get rid of 350 water is going to be 4 refineries, and we got to underclock though. We're going to set those down to no, wait. Yes, 350 water is what we're getting. So if this so 350 divided by 2, 175. I need to get this down to 175 water. What is it if we go to 100? That's that. So what if we go 150 per minute. Nope. 140. 140 per minute. Consumes 210 limestone. And we do that 4 times. So that's 210 times 4. 840 limestone to look after the wastewater of 250 bauxite. I think we're going to have to grab all of the polymer resin that we're making, and we're going to have to make containers out of it. And I'm going to have to package that water. Okay, what does that look like? So there'll be another refinery that we got to do. We might end up having to like redesign our to-do list out of this. So if we, is it a refinery that we got to use? Residual plastic is polymer resin and water. This we could summer sloop. And what if we overclock the crap out of this? That's going to make us 100 plastic out of 150 resin. This also consumes 50 water. Not entirely sure how much polymer resin we are making. I'll have to go out and give that a count and kind of do some numbers on what that's going to look like. Okay, then the other thing that we want to do would be, is the packager. We'd want to make the empty containers, right? So that's not going to be the packager. That's the wrong piece of equipment. Is that just done in the constructor? Yes, empty canister. Oh no, it's an empty fluid one we'd need, right? Used for packaging gases and volatile liquids for transport. Nope, that'll be fine. We can just use water for this. So if we overclock the crap out of this and then doubled it, 75 plastic would get us 300 empty containers. And then if we grab our builder here and we're going to grab our packager. Excuse me, and we're dealing with water. 150 deals with 150 water. Okay. Plans changed. We are going to gather up all the polymer resin. Man, I was planning on making alumina solution today. Well, we can... Why don't I bring one bauxite node over here? Just to say that we did something related to the title of the video? Okay, we're going to bring this node out to right here. And it's to this one that we want to go to. And we're going to keep bringing this right down. Okay, and we're going to bring an input line up here. Logistics. Throw that right there, and... so we can at least say I attempted to do what the title of my video is. And then I realized I've got a wastewater problem before I even got like too far into it. And we're going to throw a hole down here like so. Grab some pipe. And you're going to connect like that. So we're making 250 water. This is asking for 250 water. It's now full. Let's throw a smart splitter down here. Just like that. This is going to be set to any, and this is going to be set to overflow. Okay, and then I'm just going to put an awesome sink right here. Okay, so you have now already crafted some alumina solution. Of which it should still be able to. I don't think that's full. Apparently it is, though. And then this is now set to 300 each. So we're just going to throw some logistics down here so that we can at least see it function for half a second. Oh, and I need to bring some petroleum coke up here too. So I got to put another feed line here. And we're going to drop this down and then back up again. We're going to go like this. We'll do all the pipe logistics underneath. Hello, I need, oh yeah, grab the right piece to plug in there. And then these are going to connect to each other. And we got to throw a junction in there. And then this goes from here. Like that. Okay, so you've got alumina solution. Let's color code these two so that we can... your water. Just so that I can keep track of what's flowing where. Customizer, and you are alumina solution. So we're going to just quickly color those like that. And then I need to grab one of our lines of petroleum coke that are over here. Which is going to be this one. I will just put a drop right here for that. And I want to bring this post all the way down so I got something to build against. Okay. And for giggles, we will just, I'm just dealing with one line right now, so I'm not really concerned if it, you know, everything looks like it's going to be in the final run. Reverse that. That's going to go down like this. This is going to connect to the conveyor hole at the bottom. And actually, that's not going to be a conveyor hole. I think we'll just bring that right over at this height. Zoop. Okay, you're going to go just like this. And line up here. Grab one of these bad boys. Throw another awesome sink down. And connect this up. And then I guess we're dealing with wastewater out of this now. We're going to go with a priority merger here. And a smart splitter. I guess we're going to have to move this out to about there, just so I got room to build with this. Smart splitter will go here, I'm guessing. This side's going to be overflow. We're dealing with such high volume of materials. Because you're 1,000 items per minute. We're only pulling 200 from this. And then we've got 800 here that's going to go into another awesome sink just because. And then into here just because. Wow. Unbelievable. Okay, now we got to deal with the wastewater. Which for now is just going to go into a big reservoir, a fluid buffer. And we will go... Let's go back to logistics here and try to figure out... Man, this is... I might not actually be able to do what I want to do. It might not work. I'm kind of having sudden realizations that this may not be possible. And then we got to bring this like so. And how much wastewater is that? That's... Oh my goodness. That's 350 wastewater. I can't even combine those two to be able to fill it because it won't run fast enough for it. Okay. You're going to go in there. And we will put another reservoir here. I just want to see this running, right? Fluid buffer can go right here. More logistics. Turn you to a straight. And then this can be dropped down and in. Okay, let's actually hook up the bauxite now, or the petroleum coke. This might be a major issue. Okay, so we're going to disconnect this, and you're going to connect to here. And you're going to get deleted while we figure this crap out. Okay, so we have scrap aluminum being actively made. That should be 1,200 items per minute flowing out of this one. What is the big hurdle? The water coming out of these. Using that water. That's the big hurdle that I'm dealing with. And this should be 800 items per minute out of there. 1,200. I think it's still trying to calculate that. Might take a while for that to figure out what the calculation is, but it should go down to 800. Because each time we make the scrap aluminum, it's making 350 excess water. What if I turn this down to 400 output? 240 alumina solution. 300. Let's go to 350. Let's go to 325. $330. This is going to be like 333.3333 repeated, isn't it? That gets us 200 per minute of the alumina solution, 66.667 petroleum coke. That's 233 water. What do I got to get down to 200 water? What does it got to be for 200 water? Let's just start with fresh. See, that's 210 water. What if we underclock? Let's go to 275. $280. $285. $286. Oh, no, if I type that right. 286. 285.5. See, that's still not it. 285.7. 285.66666. 0.7. 0.8. But then we're dealing with like part numbers on the aluminum scrap coming out. That's not the right, that's not, we're going the wrong way. What do we got to do to get to 300 water per minute? Where does that put things? Uh, 426. 427. See, but then we're dealing with odd numbers because we've got like a good solid number coming out of 600 cubic meters, and these two machines at, yeah, no, we can't be screwing up. We just have to deal with the fact that we've got 350 water. Control C, Control V. We didn't change both of these, did we? Ah, man, did I screw it right up? It's 500 per minute, right? Yeah. Control C, Lockdot, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Things are good. It's another day. Another struggle with how the hell I'm going to deal with waste products coming out of this. And you want to know what's crazy is this is only, what is this? This is 250 of one of our 1200 item bauxite lines. I don't think that's the right color for water. I want to use a different one. Customizer. Let's use this for the watercolor. Texas is getting to minus 19 degrees Celsius tonight, or minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit. That seems very rare. Yeah, that does seem a little rare, but I'm going to guess that's probably more in like northern Texas. I'm not in Texas, I'm in California, but I've never seen that Texas forecast there before. Well, they had the ice storms here, what was it, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, where their like pipes were bursting because they weren't used to that. Okay. Well, we've made Alumina solution, so I didn't lie in my video. The fact that I said that, hey, wait, why is this? Oh, my one playthrough window wasn't playing the video properly. So I haven't lied in the title of my video. I am, except for the actual thumbnail says making all the Alumina solution. Well, I am eventually going to be making all the Alumina solution, but we got to shift gears because I got to find a better way to deal with this. Because you can see, like, I'm already full of water, and this has not been running very long. So, Sheepshanks, hey, why did this drop down to... Oh, because I was screwing with these numbers, and I'm like, why is this like not functioning properly? Wait, why is it starving for Alumina solution? It's got water, it's got bauxite, it should just keep making it and not stop ever. You should be consuming 300, and you should be consuming 300, but you're not getting anything. Why are you empty? You shouldn't be empty. We're not short on water. We're not short on bauxite. I'm going to have to dig into this a little bit more and figure out exactly why those are starving out like that. The only thing I could think is it's because it's doing this little bloop, bloop, and then back up again. And it's probably night lock. I'm dealing with like liquid slosh, so that's probably going to be a wreck. Lockdot says, afraid Atlantis getting frozen rain rate tears. Do you know much about AdSense? Yeah, I know my AdSense account got canceled because my YouTube partnership got canceled because I hadn't uploaded in a really long time. So they demonetized my channel, even though I was still getting like 1,000 views a month of my old content. But because I hadn't uploaded any new content, it shut it off. And then my YouTube revenue was getting dumped into my Google AdSense account. And because now my Google AdSense account isn't being used, it's basically locked out. Well, not locked out. It's like you can reactivate it once you get your partnership, your monetization re-enabled on your YouTube channel. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? So because I went for like a 6-month stretch there where I hadn't put any content out, YouTube deemed me as a dead channel, and so they decided that the revenue that they were generating from the views I was getting on my channel, they were going to keep it for themselves. So, yeah. And then because I turned it off, trying to turn it back on, it took too long to get it turned back on because I've uploaded enough content, but I've got to reach an hour's viewed peak bar. I got to hit that bar first, and then I can turn it back on. And once that's turned back on, then I can go back to my Google AdSense account, re-enable my Google AdSense account, and then hopefully start getting my revenue from my YouTube videos again. So, flip to that, I've decided to join the Amazon partner program, or the Amazon affiliate program. So I do have an Amazon affiliate link. Promo, this is it, a promo, just so you know, I'm advertising. I do have an Amazon affiliate link in the description of my video and also in my About page. And in there, it goes to my Amazon store where I've got my gaming PC specs are in there in a list. You can look at everything that I use on an everyday basis for my gaming PC. Some networking equipment that I have installed and have been using, and it's been fantastic. Also, like everyday items that I use every single day. The shirt that I'm wearing right now is it's just a cheap old Amazon basic shirt. It's like super comfortable, washes really well, fits really well. It's a nice length to it. Yeah, so I do that. The sunglasses that I got listed in there, I wear them all the time. I've bought like 3 pairs of them now because I'm an idiot and I lose them. But they're like so comfortable, especially to fit my fat head. They seem to work quite well for that and stuff. So I've got a link for that, and then plus a list of books that I'm have read or have been listening to through Audible right now. I've got that on there. So yeah, I'm on my on the run with Amazon. So feel free to check out my Amazon link. Blockdot said, now I tried to fix it, and my publisher ID, the old one starts with an 8, and the new one starts with a 5. I don't know what is happening. You probably will have to relink your YouTube to your Google ID, so that I don't know. I haven't been able to get to the point where I've got to get it all re-enabled again, so I will have to cross that bridge when I get there. I don't know how to fix it beyond that. I will troubleshoot it at some point. But right now is not the point that it's getting troubleshot. Oh, and I guess I should color code this back to the watercolor. We're going to go blink, blink. Because this is wastewater again we're dealing with on this. So, now that we've kind of figured out what I got to do, And that, our biggest stumbling block is this. Mine's been broken for like 3-4 months now, so how many hours am I at? It says I'm at like 1190 or 1200 and something. I can look at my app, let's see. I'm a long ways away from it's 3000 that I've got to hit. And it says qualifying views. So I'm assuming that it's not including views of my old video. It's only views of new content that I put up, so. You have to go to 4,000 hours? Mine says 3,000 is what I got to go to. Let's look at my studio. Earn. I'm at 1188 of qualified views of 3,000 that I got to do. Or I could have 3 million views of shorts, which, yeah, that's not going to happen. I've got like 6,000 views on shorts in the last 365 days, so. So I'm a ways away from it being turned back on again, which is why I'm finding other ways to monetize the channel if I want to do it, so. Yeah, 3 million for shorts, 3 million views. It's kind of harsh. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a pivot here. We're gonna, since we're right close to this one here, I think I will gather up the polymer resin that I'm building over here and start something with that. I don't know what it's gonna, like, I will turn it into plastic and then turn it into containers and then ship the containers over to here to deal with wastewater. That's, I don't know what my solution's going to be other than that, because there's no way that there's enough limestone available on this planet for us to be able to do it. So that's 11,500 hours. So that's why they go by views on shorts, because shorts are just a quick little bloop. And a short can be up to a minute. Okay, so we're dealing with plastic now. I need to get plastic. So I got to take the polymer resin and build it into something. And I've got... How much polymer resin have we got going right here right now? I'm going to throw down some measurements on this so I can get a good view of our output. I'm going to guess 8, 16, 24, 2,800 polymer resin, I think is probably what we've got going over here. All right, let's see what we're getting for numbers. So this is looking like it's going to balance out at about 800. That one is 800. And you're about 800. So that other one should be 400. Still doing Minecraft? Oh, you're talking to Locked Out about that. Afraid I didn't stop making videos is the fun part, but YouTube said I did. Okay. You could have went back to YouTube and said, hey, I'm still making content. What are you doing? Okay, so that's 400. So we've got to build some lines here to be able to deal with this. Ran, welcome to Chicken Lives Matter. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Chicken Lives Matter. Yeah, they probably do. Okay, what are we going to do here? I got to figure out... Okay, I'm going to have to set up some type of a merger line here. With an overflow, so this is going to have to be a smart splitter set up here, but I don't want that in line. I'm gonna break this and fix it. I'm trying to figure it all out right now. I'm gonna get rid of this. No, you know what? I'm gonna split it back here. I don't want to break this production line that I've got going here, so you're gonna go like that, and we're going to take this to here and then up to here. I'm gonna take out this and this and this, and we're just going to combine that all the way across. Now that's probably not a good idea. We're gonna put that there. Delete out both of these. You can go there. You can go there. Okay, it's still running. Still working. Ter said, I told YouTube I didn't stop making videos. I'm more than qualified to get monetization, yet they still turned mine off. Their help support is next to useless too. Yeah, because your channel's not big enough to go after that. It's got to be, if you're at 1200, they probably removed it because you're not hitting that minimum, that lower threshold. You're not at the 4,000 hours of watch time, or 3,000 hours of watch time. Okay, okay. You're at 11,000 hours? Then you should be able to just click the link, re-enable. Like it, I don't know. I can't help you. I don't work for YouTube and I haven't experienced it yet. I can't give you any answers. I can't help you. I have no suggestions because I'm in the same boat you are, but I know I'm not at the point yet where I qualify to turn it back on again. So that's it. That's all I can say. I don't have any answers for you. Other than, don't rely on YouTube to make your money from it. Try becoming an Amazon affiliate or some other affiliate with some other things. If you're getting enough videos, you might be able to do something, so. Well, I know what I did. I stopped uploading videos for like 8 months. That's what I did. I didn't put anything on my channel for 8 months. Nothing. At work, real life work was crazy busy, so I wasn't doing live streams. I wasn't uploading content. They warned me 3 months before they were going to shut it off, saying, hey, you better do it. But I had to have enough qualifying videos, and I didn't put up, I only did like 1 or 2 because I was still really busy. And, well, it turns itself off if you don't sell anything with your Amazon affiliate link within 90 days or 180 days or something like that. So, that's why that shuts off. So yeah, so for me, it was like 8 months of zero content I put on my channel. So it was, they gave me 3 months to say, hey, start doing something. But in my time in my life and what was going on, I didn't have enough time to sit down and focus, and work was just insanely busy for me. And I didn't have, by the time I get home from work, I was too exhausted, so I didn't have time to post video. So until I get my channel now up to the new thresholds, because I was grandfathered in a while ago where I didn't end up having to worry about the, like some of the new rules. Because I think like back in the day when I first monetized my channel, you only needed 500 subscribers and like 100 hours of view time. And I was able to monetize it right away. And then I was grandfathered in every time they changed those thresholds. Because once they monetized you, they didn't turn it off. But then they had the excuse now because I didn't do anything on my channel for 8 months. So that's why I got turned off. Like that's, I can't blame them for that. That's me being dumb. Okay, so I still need to figure this out. So bear with me here. I've got to put in a splitter on this. Like so. This is a smart splitter. And overflow is going out that side. Okay, and then I need to build my merger. So we're going with a priority merger here and then here. I don't want to click into that yet. So my priority line is through the center. And that is even facing the wrong way. I gotta spin this around. I need it to be facing forward. Okay. Turning that off. So I'm going to be bringing this line in. You are my priority. That's going to feed into there.
Bruh.
I hope it won't be too hard for you to get back to having it on. And in all honesty, I made maybe $200 a year on it. If it doesn't get turned back on, it's kind of the way it is. Bruh. So I'm not overly really worried about it if it doesn't get turned back on. It just kind of sucks a little bit. Like that's what I'm dealing with. Okay, so what am I going to do with this line now is we're going to... I'm having a hard time dealing with this without... I don't want to like shut off my lines here at all and break my production, my oil flow, because it's really hard to get back going again once you break its rhythm. So I need to make sure that I don't like totally screw up my Petroleum Coke manufacturing. So I need to set up some new awesome sinks down here that are going to deal with all of this. And what am I'm only going to need like 3 awesome sinks in total. Ah, creeper! Okay, now what? 1, 2... So this will be my first real priority line that's running. That little patch of dirt kind of screws everything right up. Why don't I do... Oh, potato internet just dialed up. That goes on for like ever, too. The old potato internet. You're bringing out all the bells and whistles tonight. Okay, we got to bring that over to there. Is that going to be high enough? Let's see if that's high enough. I think that's good. Let's just clip that right there. Or are we still down slightly? do you mean the belt's too long? No, it's not. Oh, it must still be a little bit low. Let's try this again. There we go. And I could delete this out. Actually, you know what? No, I'll keep those there because it does at least lift it. I'll just delete out these ones. Lockdown says the potato internet, is that dedicated to me? 2 megabits per second, 240. Yeah, that is absolutely. You're the reason why that dial-up internet thing is there. %. That's all you. Okay, so we're gonna bring this to here, and the air horn. I didn't even jump from the air horn this time. Tall, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
I think it's because I'm like super hyper focused. You guys are just spamming away with the sounds tonight. Yeah, I'm like super hyper focused and trying to figure out this whole, how am I going to deal with the wastewater issue? And it's an issue. Okay, so you're going to drop down like this. You're going to go like this. You're going to go like this. And you're going to go like that. And then we're going to add this here. We're going to add this here. I have to somehow add this. There, I could delete out this one. Okay, so now I need to come out with this line to here. We're going to come out a little bit further because I didn't exactly line that up perfect. So that'll be the overflow line, and then I need to come up a level. Tall is like, his cancer's 100% in remission, so he's like been done treatments now. He's been cancer free for 6 years now, I think. Okay, does that line up? Let's see if this lines up. There we go. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, good. And then we can bring this down, and then I got to deal with this cluster F now. Okay, so from this line that's coming out of here, this is 800 items per minute that are going in. We're stealing 400 from this. There's 400 coming from that one. We can just do a straight merge on this one, because there should be no overflow whatsoever. Who ran the Murloc sign? Who redeemed Murloc was afraid? Wait, does that work out? 800? Yeah, we're going to be at 400. So we should be actually 3,600. 12, 20. Why was I struggling with adding that up earlier? Let's go 800 times 3 plus 400 is 2,800. My brain is like totally broken right now. Why is this not 800 items merged with 800 items leaves 1,200 items and 400 items left over? 800 plus 800 minus 1,200 is 400 left over. So then if we take 400 items plus 800 items, oh, it leaves us with 400 left over. It's not a, yeah, okay, no, I'm good. I was having like totally broken mind issues there, so I actually don't need this top one. I am going to rerun this line to connect over to this way into that awesome sink. I just want all the awesome sinks kind of over here in the same spot, because then I know where I'm pulling from to be able to do the plastic construction. I nearly said, hey, what? Apparently it doesn't take much to distract my poor little brain tonight. I got derailed. The wastewater thing is really completely, utterly derailing me right now. Okay, so I'm going to delete that temporarily while I grab priority merger. And we're going to go there. There. I'm going to delete this. And delete this. And then I'm going to rerun this bottom conveyor all the way back. Because this line is only 400 items per minute, it's not my priority line. The priority line is coming from the left input, because this line is 800 items per minute. And all I need to do to fix that... Okay. I think I'm half ready to go here. I believe I am good to take this line now. Let's go to right to there. That should be good enough. I'm going to delete this. We're going to pull this line now up to here. Pull this all the way to here. No, not like that. And then I'm going to delete this and this and this. You're going in here. You're going in here. No, not like that. I want to put my little loop in here so I've got a buffer. So we're going to come up to... I need to use the default. So... Okay, that's not working. So we got to delete out this one. And we're going to turn on this one to any... We're going to turn off this. We're going to bring you to here and up. And then we're going to take you to there, but we're going to turn it into straight build mode. Okay. We're cooking with some high octane brain fumes right now. 1,200 items per minute. This should read 400 items per minute once it balances out. Locked out to their modular trailers. Compliance you can kill. It's easy to forget. Should have done this once we had like 11 units to do at work, but now I'm just waiting for skids to show up. Oh, they never ordered your supplies again? Isn't that amazing? Okay, so this should be all balanced properly. 400 items, 1,200 items. We're cooking with something, which means I can delete this now, delete this, and we're going to put in a handy dandy little elevator right here, like so, and connect here. So this should now read 1,200 items on that. Because this one should be 800 items once it like balances out. And this is because we had a backup because I untook things. So I can actually delete these out and things should start flowing better. And it'll fix the backup issues that are going on. Okay, so that's all clear. These ones all clear. Playflies, welcome to the stream. Okay, what? The Tills Keller 807 plays flies. Okay, welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
We're just going to call you plays flies. Because I'm not reading all the rest of that. It's just too much. We'll read that or we'll just call you 807. What kind of YouTube name is that? Oh, the little Skeller. I can read it better now that it's in the white text. My eyes, not so good nowadays. I'm starting to have like some issues with reading things. I don't want to like crank up the DPI on my monitor for the chat text. It's just a tiny little chat window. I don't know. Maybe I could crank that up a bit. Oh, hey, look, I could do that. Mind you, that's just zooms the YouTube channel in too, and I don't like that. Everything else is fine. It's the chat. The little Skeller. That's probably easy to say now that I can actually read it. Totally broken brain syndrome. We still are having some backup over here. Why are you still backing up? You shouldn't be. We shouldn't have any backup issues on this. It's coming from the... It's not going to be this line. This line should be solid. There's a website called Speech Chat, and you can actually read chat out to you. It's only got weird sounds, robot sounds, voices, though. Yeah. I don't mind going over and looking at chat every once in a while. I don't want to have to break out the reading glasses for the screens, because my 27-inch monitor, totally fine. I can read everything that's on there, works totally good. There's just something about, like, my chat window, because I got it in dark mode, it puts everybody's names in gray text, and gray against black. I struggle with gray against black. It's just, my eyes don't focus on it well enough, and but once it was once you reposted the name in in chat, Locke, when you did that, the white against black, no problem, I could read that. Okay, are you gonna stop backing up so much? I don't want, this is gonna be an issue if this is gonna keep backing up. Are any of these other ones like over full? Let's have a look. Maybe we're just at that consistent flow now. Maybe we'll be okay. Now I can delete out these. I don't need these awesome sinks anymore. Because now that we've merged the polymer resin together, we should be in good shape. Maize used to be above average, 2010. They got worse. Now I'm 2045. I don't get why. They said I'm fine though, so I got glasses now. It's odd having to wear them. Yeah, like, I only really need to use them for when I'm reading. So that's why I have readers that I look after. Like, they stay on my laptop bag. And when I'm at work, they're just available for me. Okay, so we have 2,800 polymer resin to use now. What is our refinery going to look like for that? Let's put down a production line here. I want to build, because we have to refine it first, I believe. And that's residual plastic is what we're going to make. And we're going to double our output on it. Because we're going to need a lot of plastic to be able to make the containers that we want to make. Terrace, do you have plans to go to Disneyland? I have zero plans to travel. Okay, this might get me like on a list. I don't know. I have zero plans to travel into the United States until Pumpkin Boy isn't there anymore. Just putting it out there. I'm now probably on a list, but it ain't happening. Okay. What does this look like if we crank this to max? That's 150 polymer resin and 50 water. Pumpkin Boy's a new one. I like that. Afraid. Amen, Terrace. I would feel the same way. It's just, we have, I mean, there's a small group in, like, I live in Alberta. There's a small group of like absolute crazies that think we should separate from Canada. What they don't realize is because their education level is slightly below the average slug, we're landlocked, and that makes our only trading partner the United States, of which that gives them way too much leverage to, well, we're only going to give you X dollars for your oil because what else are you going to do with it? You can't do anything with it. So we're going to pay you 50 cents on the dollar for it because what else are you going to do? Just leave it in the ground? Not going to happen. You need to make money. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is like 30% of our province is crown land for national parks. It's not the provinces. They can't do anything with it. Oh, and then like 70% of the province is treated land that belongs to the natives who were actually the first Canadians that were here. And they're not going to leave Canada. So yeah, like build a bridge, get over it. It's like 10% of our population thinks that we should separate, which is absolutely the dumbest idea you could possibly come up with. It's never going to happen. Get over it. We as a nation need to work together to make Canada what it needs to be, not be in these separated little groups. Like, it's just the way it is. Okay, I got to get off this because I never talk politics on my channel. But I mean, lately there's some hills that I'm dying on, and national unity, everyone working together for common goals to make Canada successful. And that's not just Alberta successful, that's British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, PEI, New Brunswick, Northwest Territories, Newfoundland, Labrador, Nunavut, Yukon. I think I actually called it all. We want the whole country to be a country. We want it all to be successful. And I think there's been some significant steps federally happening now that's making Canada a player in the global market. It's making Canada... There are things happening in the world right now that are making some alignments that are going to be good for our country. And you just have to think outside the box, not just think about yourself. You need to think about the future. And yeah, that's the hill I'm dying on. And I'm a Gen Xer, right? Like I'm gonna be 50 here in April. I've always been kind of a conservative type person. But where our conservative party is in our country right now is not, it's like way far right. Way far right. Like too far. I'm much more of a centrist right person because the two extremes, all the way to the left or all the way to the right, doesn't work. And we see that in the United States right now. That far right radicalism that's in power there right now is tearing that country apart. And I feel so bad for the people that are living there and having to deal with that. It's hurtful to see, man, I don't know. I think I've just put a big target on me right now. I don't know, but that's how I feel. And Tall, you say that they're trying to take your guns away. You still have a lot of guns. And they're not taking them all away. They're just trying to bring in some regulations to make sure that the safe ones are there. Did they go too far in some spots? Absolutely. But it's reactionary to, I don't know, there's so many other things right now. The guns are not really the concern. It's our economy. If we don't have an economy that functions, who cares if you got guns? Because, well, I guess then it is a problem because we're going to end up having to shoot each other to eat food. That's just the way it is. I'm more worried about where Canada's going to be on the global market because we need to think globally. We need to get out of this North American bubble and think of Canada being able to be a player in the world market. And I think we're making steps where that needs to be nowadays for that to happen. Yeah. Back to Satisfactory. Back to turning our polymer resin into plastic and what this is going to look like. First things first, actually, I think what I'll do is I'm actually going to delete this section out here and I'm going to put it to... how large of an area does this need to be? First off is, I think I'm just slightly higher on this build than what I was all the way over there. Okay, so that's where our water extractors are going to go. Because we need water extractors for this. I need to build this up and then put a one high foundation on top of that. And I think we're 5 for these. It's not much water we need for this, so I'm not really overly concerned about that. Now let's grab our refinery and set this to residual plastic, and we are cranking this right up. That's 150 polymer resin. We're doubling this to make 100 plastic, and that's 50 water going in. So 50 water is nothing. That's going to be totally fine. So what is 1200 divided by 150? That's only 8 of these. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just going to bring this over a little bit more. Okay, I think we're good there. Only need like 2 more, so I'm probably outbuilding this. I don't need to build that much of this space. So that should be 8, right? Oh, I spaced it out wrong. Let's delete those and redo them. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I didn't need to do all this extra. Well, I'll leave it for now because I've got more than one full line I got to deal with. So 400 divided by 1200. I didn't do that math right, did I? 1200 divided by 150. Oh yeah, I did. So then 400 divided by 150 is 2.6. Because we've got this shorter line here. It's only 400 items permitted on that, so. The no flag is nice. You mentioned that territory earlier. Yes, I did. Back when I was a kid, Northwest Territories and Nunavut were all, or Nunavut or whatever, was all one. It was all called Northwest Territories, but then they ended up splitting it in half. You know what really sucked is when you had to color that map in school. All those freaking islands. When you were in elementary school, you'd color the map of Canada, and man, that sucked so bad. Color in the lines of 1 billion islands. Okay, so that's 150. That's going to be 8 across. So let's just deal with... well, technically, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, British Columbia, Yukon, Northwest Territory was all part of Northwest Territories, owned by the Hudson Bay Company back in the fur trade, way back when. So, like, everything west of Ontario, basically. But back in that day, it was Upper Canada and Lower Canada. Were kind of like the Quebec areas, and then the southern Ontario areas was Upper and Lower Canada, and then Northwest Territories owned everything else as part of the fur trade. Is, you know, kind of the origins of Canada. So okie dokie. So what does this look like if... Let me just deal with the first line here. We're going to take these out. No, I'll fill that back in. We have that 400 line that we're dealing with right now. So what if I take out one of these? That gives us 120. Maybe I want to get to 50 per minute. What's 45 per minute? Hello, why didn't that work? 45 per minute. It's 135. 42 per minute. 40. 35. 34. 33. What's a better way to divide 400? See, 125, that's not going to work. Just trying to figure out the math to be able to get things to balance out right on this. So if we did 33.33333, see, and then we're dealing with a shitty output. Oh, I know what we could do. We'll just do 1, 2 is 300, 3 is 450. We can actually delete this one too. And we can knock this one down to... because that leaves 300. What if we knock this one down to... what is it with no overclocks? Delete, delete, delete. Is 60 per. How often do you see the Bear Northwest Territory plates? Oh, I see the actually, I think the Yukon is the Bear, is it not? Yukon license plate? Oh, no, it isn't. It by Northwest, must be Northwest Territories. Oh, yes, so it is, yeah. I thought it was Yukon that was, but no, yeah. I see that, I mean, they're directly above us, so that they're in the province all the time. I'm not going to say I see it like every week, but every few weeks anyway. So what if we get this down to 50 per? What if I change this to 15? Why is it? It just never wants to balance out the way you want it. Because we're dealing with 400 items per minute. Or do we just bring that 400 line along with us somewhere to be able to add it somewhere else? That's kind of the other thing that we could do. Because it seems like no matter what we do, it just mathematically doesn't work out very well. And we're going to end up dealing with a crappy little odd number to try to deal with later on with being able to manufacture the plastic bottles and stuff. So you're going to be up in 5 hours. Are you going fishing tomorrow? Up in 5 hours. Damn. You got to be going fishing because I can't see you getting up on a Sunday for 5 o'clock. Unless it was doing something fun. Is Frog working tonight or is she... oh no, she didn't work last night. She's probably working tonight, I'm thinking. So this, I mean, this here will balance it so that it's working within reason. So that's 90. What if I take one and get it to making 10 per minute? What does it look like if it makes 10 per minute? It's 30 polymer resin. That's still, no, that gets us too much. because that's 90. Five. 2. There's just no way to balance it out right. Because 400 divided by 3 is, yeah, 133 each that we've got to try to do. 200 can't get up that high. 100 would be amazing. 6 doesn't work. 400 divided by 8 is 50. Wait, that might work. What if we set this to making 50 per? No, using 50. So that's... Using 50 would be like... Absolutely no overclock. Uses 60. Is that 15 per minute? Nope. 18? 17? How about 16? Nope, it drops back down. Son of a... Okay, what is using 40 per minute look like? Let's go to 15. There's just no way to divide it up properly. Nope, that's going to go over again. Trying to deal with these even numbers. 400 is just a stupid number. Why do you got to be making 400 per minute? Why? Answer that. Taltair says we're not allowed to keep pike anymore. There's got to be some areas you can still keep pike. Because they used to be like kind of invasive everywhere, but... Okay, so... I don't know if there's going to be an easy way to split up 400. Because I don't think I can get this to like balance out at an even number for that. As soon as I drop this down to 13, it drops back down, so... At least in Alberta, you're not allowed to keep pike anymore. Well, that's crazy. I mean... Let's be honest, eating fish is... After you've had salmon, do you really want to eat anything else? Well, I mean, cod's pretty good, and halibut's freaking amazing. But I mean, I prefer ocean fish versus freshwater fish for eating. Okay, so we can at least take care of 300 per minute, and then we got to deal with this... And I guess we're going to just call it... What is the number? 33.333 is 100 polymer resin. I guess we're going to have to deal with the math on that. And just set up overflows for the extra resin that isn't being used, I guess. That's the only way I can think of making this work. How much water is this combined? 50, 50, less than 50. So we're going to throw a water extractor here. The fact that I have to use water right now, it's kind of driving me crazy just a little bit. Considering we're building this so that we can get rid of water. Okay, let's throw in some floors in here. Some floor holes. Snow chains work, but I'm limited to 20 miles per hour, and I messed up my fender with it breaking off once. Yeah, that's probably true. What do you think, Terrace? I only use snow tires when I worked on a ski hill. Around here where it's pretty flat, you generally don't use snow chains at all. Sorry, not snow tires, snow chains. I need this set to auto. There we go. Auto, auto. And then we need to drop this down like so. Drop you down like so. You're gonna go like this. We need to grab this piece, line it up. And we're going to attach this pipe. Like so, I guess. Let's line that up properly. What is that going to look like? Let's line that up to that center one. Production. Water extractor. I think that's pretty close. That's about as close as I think we're going to get it. That ain't close at all. Oh yeah, it is. It looked like it was like really crazy crooked, but I think it's just it's this that I'm looking at that's not. Chains suck, but winter tires don't want above certain temperatures, which is it's often above. Yeah, you don't want to be running winter tires when it's like above. I think it's like 12 degrees Celsius, something like that. Okay, so that should provide. We need to overclock this so that this is making. We'll just make it 150 watt per. Are you guys actually filling, or are you just screwing with me here? Is this going to be a matter of it's just above the head lift? Or, you know what? Let's just throw a pump on it just to be on the safe side. I don't want to have to be screwed with head lift problems. So I'm just throwing a lift pump on there. So 165/65 R14s. That's a pretty tiny tire. Your bellow tires are smaller than R14? Okay, so this should then work out to how much plastic are we making on this? We're 100 plastic, 100 plastic, 267.667 plastic per minute is what we're making with no other residual. So for now, I'm just going to put out a awesome sink here just so I can see this running without starving out a production line. Or do we want this to go straight into... No, we'll just go into an awesome sink right now and we'll build the plastic containers later. Tall says, the ring is the same size, but I think the width is our 145s. Oh, I can see the width being narrower because the older cars did have a narrow tire. I could see that. That sounds similar to the Geo Metro. Yeah, what he has is not a Geo Metro. 1953 Chevy Bel Air, right? I really hope that car becomes something one day and doesn't just sit in the back of your yard there. What am I looking for? Awesome sink. Logistics. We're going to throw this right here and then this right here. This one we're going to prioritize because it's they'll have the more items in it. That's going to go there, 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 and that's going to go there. So this should be full of water. Now I just have to bring a polymer resin line over. And we're going to bring it right to here. Like so. And we're going to distribute this first. So I need my smart splitter. There and there. Okay, that should be... That'll take care of the polymer resin. Let's grab the polymer resin now. Just go right to here, and then we're going to take this line, we're going to bust it out, and connect it. So this one's going to fill up first. That's going to get us our plastic, and then the next part will be, okay, now we've got to do something with this plastic. 267 odd, stupid number per minute that we're dealing with. Okay, why have I not seen... Oh, duh. Any. And overflow. Control C, Control V, Control V. That was really dumb of me. At least it didn't back up too long and I caught it fast enough. You know what? And we'll just throw this into the end one here so that that could start producing. Because it's going to take a long time for that to fill up. Actually, what I should do is take this out of here, throw it in this one so it's full, and then put the leftover in this one. Okay, so we've got plastic being made. Now we need to take this plastic. No, we'll get the other lines done first. Getting the cart ahead of the horse here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to copy that one. Hold on. I want this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How much water is that in total? That is 50 times 8 is 400 water. So we're going to need 2 extractors. So we'll throw one here. No, I don't want it that close. We'll light it up to that one, and then one. Let's bring this floor joist all the way out to there. Grab this. Do I have enough room right there? I think I do. I think I could pull that off right there. Excellent. So this is going to be dealing with the first line that's 1,200 items per minute. Last year it was -1 and snowing. 5 days later it hit 41 degrees in extreme case. But most of the time I drive, it's too hot for winter tires. But I do still drive in the snow a lot. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Generally, the snow is not going to stick around very long, so I would just wait until the snow stopped and they got the roads cleared, personally. Because you're not going to have a huge amount of snow all the time. See here, I mean, the snow hits the ground in October and we don't see the ground again until May, so... makes no difference to us. It's also a really different kind of snow than what you'd be driving on. Now, does that reach right across? No, of course it doesn't. Frick monster. So we'll just... I really wish that had reached all the way. Okay, we're gonna hook this up like this. And you're gonna get hooked up like this. And we're gonna overclock these. I'm gonna go 240. It's only gonna call for 400. So I'm making sure that there's excess. So that's a fun part. I have 2 houses. One is high elevation, the snow stays there, and the other it's hot, but I drive to both houses regularly. Well, I'd say wherever you spend the most time is what you should set your tires to. Okay, I'm going to delete out this section of pipe so I don't have that junction in there. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down, hit that like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm stumbling along on this build, because the wastewater thing has got me really stumped on how I'm going to effectively deal with the amount of wastewater we're going to be producing in converting all of that alumina solution into scrap aluminum. Okay, so now we can bring this like so and not place that there like that. Bring this out to here. Connect. You're going to be like this. To here, and then I guess that is technically like too far away there. Let's replace this and line it up properly. And again, I'm throwing the pump in because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to risk the chance of there not being enough head lift. Where's the best place to put the pump? I guess technically it fits here. Technically it fits here. We'll see if that does. That's full of water. That's full of water. Those are filling as we speak. And then we're going to bring this down here like so. This we're going to move along. Let's just say for giggles that that's 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100. So we're less than 1,100 on our output on this. with these. So this can actually get moved now to this end. Clean this rat's nest up here a little bit. Do winter tires help much on ice? I don't like sliding all over. Absolutely. Winter tires are softer rubber. And then if you get winter tires with studs on them, they'll dig in a little bit more. The winter tires I use on my truck, they have like a walnut mix in them. And they're really good on ice. I don't slide around on my truck at all. They seem really to do the trick, so. Okay, so we are going to continue with these being configured this way. I gotta set them right. Are they already set right? They are already set right. Perfect. You're gonna go like so. Okay, plastic. Less than 1,100 meters, or 1,100 per minute. I'm going to delete this out. I have the same tires and don't have a problem with sliding either, and I don't have weight in the back. I do have a couple of those big bales in the back of my truck. Okay, so this... Once I hook up this, you know what? I don't even need this end one because it's just a direct feed because we're making enough. I gotta make sure I got these smart splitters set up correctly as well. Overflow straight, any. Okay, we're good there. Studded tires aren't allowed, sadly. I guess California just has different rules than we've got. Okay, so everything should be full of water. That should all be working. Do I have my output measuring guide here? No, I don't. Let's throw one of those on there. Just like so. And then we are bringing this line over. I think we'll grab that first one. Delete and connect. And I can delete this awesome sync now because it's not being used for anything. But now, you know what? I think just to jumpstart everything to make sure it's all working the way it's supposed to, I think I'm going to grab some polymer resin. And fill up those conveyors so that they're full, or the inputs. I want stacks. Holly, hello. Why aren't you typing? Why no typey? I want 7. Seriously, stop it. Seven stacks. Give item. Okay. What is going on? Like, why is my game acting cap locks, number lock. I don't know, my game's acting kind of weird. Yeah, but they're also truck tires lock. Like they're bigger, like they're big tires. Like you're 20-inch rims or 21-inch rims on that truck. Like mine are only 17 on my truck. They weren't 1500. They were like 1200, I think, for my truck. And that's Canadian. So like 900 US for mine. 850, somewhere around there. I guess I didn't need to grab quite as much polymer resin because we're pretty full here already. Fill that up. Fill that up. And fill that one up. Okay, I think we're golden. Art, you're 20-inch rims, yeah. See, I'm only 17-inch rims on my truck, I think. Pretty sure I'm 265, 75 are 17s. Okay, I think we are cooking with gas on this. How much plastic are we making? That's looking like... You know what? I'm going to delete this and repost it again because I wanted to give it a good chance to calibrate. Okay, what is it? What am I thinking it's going to be? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, or this is 8, 9, 10. It should be 1,066, 67. Back and forth between the two of them. Is kind of what it should be at. So I'm thinking that this is gonna like balance out at like 1,067 once it's done calibrating. Oh, we just hit an autosave right there. Okay, while that's working on that, what is our next piece of building? Was it a constructor we needed? Let's have a look at this. For empty canisters. And we're going to want to summer sloop it. Okay, if we have 1,067... What if I crank this right up? That's 75 per. Makes 300 empty containers. Okay, that's kind of all right. I looked how much summers were last. They came to the truck. They were $3,000 for summer tires? For your truck? What the hell were you buying for summer tires for your truck? Tires are generally like aftermarket tires. Factory tires are crap. Like when you buy a brand new vehicle and you drive it off the lot, if you get 60 or 70,000 K out of them, like they did you totally fine. Aftermarkets, you should be able to get between 100 and 120 K on them, I would think. I think they were made out of diamonds. I think they were made out of diamonds too. $3,000 for those tires. Like I know that the R20s are, those bigger rimmed tires are more expensive. Yes, but that seems a little rich. I would be looking somewhere not in town here. Oh, it was the company truck before I bought it. Oh, your truck. Wait, I'm confused. What are you talking about? I still don't think those tires should have been $3,000. I would go talk to go north and talk to TreadPro. They'll get you a way better deal for summer tires for that truck. I don't know what local was trying to sell you for those. So divided by 75, 1067 divided by 75 is 14.2. So we're going to need like 15 constructors. This might be a good blueprint time. We're going to have to find a platform out here that I could build a blueprint designer on this. Because we're going to be dealing with a lot of constructors. I think we got to go, what, 7x7 for the 6x6 blueprint designer? Special blueprint maker. Spin this around so I can see it. Okay, so how many did I say we needed? 15. So let's grab our constructors. Do we want to build it a 10 by 10 or do we want to go smaller than that? Because that will, actually that gets us 12 right there. So if we did it 6, so let's build this in the middle. Okay, so that should be, and then we can go up with it from here. Okay, let's grab some construction materials here. Some architecture. We're going to go with steel pillar. You know what? We'll go right to the corner. I think these could be zooped. Do I want to zoop? Yes, I want to go 3 high with them. And then we'll go to this corner. And then this one. And this one. The output on this is going to be a little bit more tricky. I guess we should probably set this to what we want. Canisters, max overclock, and max amount we can build. That is going to make, each one of these is going to make 300 canisters. I can live with that. Okay, let's grab some foundation here. And then we're going to cap this. I think I'm only going to build like 1 floor at a time. I think we'll just set it as this is a constructor, the plastic container constructor build. We'll do the logistics in it in here though, because we will For our plastic going in, logistically, we're going to go with conveyor splitters. 2 and 3. And I'm actually going to bring that input. Where's my conveyor? Telter says, I tend to go 90 kilometers an hour max, saves fuel. Some say if I go under the limit, I'm impeding traffic, which seems odd. 90 seems to be fine. Not sure in the lane. Octod, if the limit is 110 kilometers an hour, do they post a minimum? You know, in the States, I could say 70 miles per hour, max 40 minimum. They don't ever post a minimum here. They will have some truck lane. They'll have a separate maximum where it'll be like, or a nighttime max-min, like max difference. Because I know on the Coquihalla Highway in British Columbia, it's 120 kilometers an hour. Sometimes they'll drop that to 100 kilometers an hour, depending if there's like a high wildlife area. And then as you're coming into Kamloops in British Columbia, it's 100 kilometers an hour for regular vehicles or 80 kilometers an hour for commercial vehicles because of it's kind of a steep hill going down and the braking for it. And I know a lot of speed limits in like Montana and stuff, it'll say like 60 mile an hour daytime, 50 mile an hour nighttime, or 55 at night or whatever. I've seen that a lot, like a day and night different speed limit. Okay, so I think on this, I'm gonna put this out so that I know that it is technically stackable. And we'll bring this down and we're going to change this to this way. And then I need to configure this. So we are going to be any overflow, any Control C, Control V, Control V. Tall says, as long as you stay in the right lane, it'll be fine. Doing 90 happens all the time. Yeah. Can be a little frustrating on 2A here if somebody's doing 90. Quick reminder, everybody, reach down, hit that like button on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Ring the notification bell. I'm trying to... If I seem a little scattered, it's because I don't have a plan for the Alumina solution. And as I started working on what the factory was going to look like, the amount of wastewater that it was going to be generating is ridiculous. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to get rid of all that wastewater yet. So I'm coming up with a plan, basically, is what I'm trying to work towards. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? We're going to call this container. Yes. The factory for building containers. Select the icon. Can I actually use the container icon? Parts. Empty. Empty. There we go. That works. Select that icon. And what background color do we want? Preload. Let's use white. Save blueprint. Now we got to set the directory, and this goes into... We're going to edit. We're going to throw this into factories. Oh, I should add a subcategory. Let's go. Let's call this plastic. apply changes, and then we're going to edit, and we're going to drag this into plastic. Apply changes. Okay. Okay. Okay, we've got our blueprint. We've got everything's kind of set up. I'm not doing any of the output logistics yet because we'll deal with that once it's built. I think that's probably the best way to go. So let's empty this, clear the blueprint designer. And where do we want to build this little factory gem? Oh, hey, look, some Mercer spheres, which we don't really need. Okay, we're going to come out this way. We're going to go this way. And we're going to build this factory in this spot so that it's not affecting any water. Maybe build that in the right spot. Okay, we definitely have enough foundation here that we can work with. So let's grab one of our blueprints, factory, and this is going to be our container processing. We're going to build it this way, and we're going to come in on that line. So if I look at this, this is 75 per... 75 times 6 is 450, so we can add another floor of this. So we're going to go blueprint designer, grab this one, and we're going to spin this all the way around. That's 900. And then we'll spin it one more time again. So on this one, we can delete out this bit because it's not an input line, and we can add our top conveyor. And then that's already hooked up. So we delete out this little bit. And we're not actually going to need all of these. It's going to be like that. And then any residual plastic, I want it to be able to go into an awesome sink and just be out of our hair so we don't have to deal with it. So I'm sticking an awesome sink at the end of this line. Just because it will cause backup issues if we don't on our Petroleum Coke manufacturing. Of which I still should have maybe an awesome sink set up here, but I think we're still okay. Oh, I don't know. We're starting to back up pretty good over here, aren't we? It should be operating totally fine, but it might not be. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to delete this. I'm going to throw this here. We're going to grab one more awesome sink. And we are just going to put you right here as... I don't want to screw up my oil production safety line. Okay, why are you starving? Why are you not getting water? There should be no reason... Wait, I'm not making enough water. Didn't I set it to 240? I thought when I grabbed those, I redid those ones. So this was starving out water, which is why the plastic was backing up, which is why things weren't producing properly. Oh my goodness. How freaking dumb can I be? So we'll crank up that water for a bit here. This line here is working totally fine. I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to throw a full stack in that one just because. And this should be okay now. This was needed the awesome sink here because of the fact that I was screwing up the water production. They should get to full here. No, they're still starving out. Like, what the frick? You know what? Until it's full, I'm cranking these right up. Oh, I deleted that out. I'm putting 600 water into something that only needs 400 water. It's not like power is an issue. I should just leave it at that. For that matter, I'll just crank this right up too. I don't ever want these to be starving for water. Okay, things are kind of looking up. You should be getting all your water. You're at 50. You should be at 50 here any second. Why are you not at 50? There we go. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay. I can delete out this one and this one because we're still overproducing water by 80. Okay, so what did I need? This was 12, 13, 14, 15. So I can delete out a few of these. So 75 times 14 is 1050. So this actually only needs to be doing like 17. So let's set this to what, 34? 17 plastic per minute. Makes 68 containers. Okay. Well, that's a step in the right direction. Now I got to deal with the output side of this. So it's 300 containers per line. So we will go... excuse me. Yawning. We'll set that as a priority line, and then we'll come through. So that's 300, 600, 900. Uh, 1,200. Okay, so at least we're good that way. Because for now, not entirely sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but we'll set up some awesome sinks to be able to get rid of that. Three, 6, 9. $1,200. Let's bring it out to here. And let's plan on... For now, I'll set up an awesome sink to go dump the empty containers into here. Okay. So that will be 300, 600. We're going to spin this around now. Set this up here. We're going to jump over our input line. Like so. Oh, wait. No, I don't have to go back that way. What am I doing? We got to go up now. This can go that way. So 300, 600. 900. 1200. And then I guess I could come down with this. And then bring this all the way down like so. And then bring it up to... I don't want that there. I want it right there. Make the corner properly. Is that the right height? I think that's the right height. I think we're good there. Okay. And then we'll come to this one and drop it back down. No, we won't. We will... Well, first off, throw a nuke because I had it in my inventory and I didn't mean to do that. Let's throw this right here. And we're going to... add this. And I'm going to elevator that down with one of the little mini elevators. Okay. So the next one is out this side. Nope, not that far over. You know what? I think we could do this as a straight. Stop here. So that's 300, 600, 900. This is 1200 here. This is why you kind of have to do the output side is really hard to do on the blueprint when you're designing something like this, because you're kind of dealing with whatever your flows are with your materials. So that here, sorry for the flooding chart. What flooding? Luckily, usually reason to replace for factory starters lasting over 2,000. It's a very long time. Usually the factory starters are going to be aren't they a little better than the aftermarket ones? Okay, we're going to throw this right here. That's going to go there. Why are you not clicking? There we go. I thought the factory starter for your, like the factory parts of my truck tend to last fairly long, but the only thing that didn't is that stupid, in my truck was that, engine oil cooler line that's braided instead of a steel line that always leaks, and they have to replace it under warranty, and then it seems to be fine forever. Every GMC I've owned has done that. We want default build on this. If I could hit the button right. And then we're going to go this way. And then we're going to go all the way this way. And then I think I'm just going to do this. And then we'll set up another awesome sink here. And then we're going to bring this to here. I think that's too far of a run for that one conveyor. I don't think that'll reach all the way. Oh, it just did. Okay, that's good. How old are the cars with 500,000 kilometers? 500,000 K, could you imagine? Mind you, what is your nephew got on that truck of his? Isn't he up over 500,000 K on that? Not nephew, cousin. Your cousin, my nephew. His truck is, I know it's over 500,000 K. One, two, three. That's going in there. Okay, where are we at now for our logistics? So 300, 600, 900, 1200. And now we're starting on this side. This is that 66. This is just the leftover bit, so we really don't have to count this out, other than knowing how much we've got with it. So let's grab our logistics. I want my smart splitter. I'll just grab it from down here. You can go that way. And then you can go that way. Mark 6 conveyor. Conveyor floor hole. Elevator connected. At that height. Where is that line up to? That's this one right here. What does that put us for distance? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is this. We're going to bring that up to there, and then we're going to put in another awesome sink here. Just like so. And then we can flip this down. Okay, that's going to deal with all the plastic that's coming off of this line with a potential overflow. So I'm going to run this conveyor line now all the way back over here. Okay, so we want to put this right here. I want to delete this, connect this, and turn it into straight mode. This is now feeding plastic over into this factory, and it's filling. And it's making containers. I'm going to grab like 10 stacks of plastic, I think. Advanced. Select an item to give. I want plastic. Why is my mouse acted stupid? Plastic. I want to give it in stacks, and I want 10 stacks of it. Resume game, and we're going to make sure these are all full. We're priming the system is basically what I'm doing. Up to the next floor, prime these ones. Priming really does make a difference if you want to just try to keep your lines running. If you've got the opportunity, grab some materials, prime your lines, because then you're going to get a better idea of your overall flow of everything right off the bat. Overflow is there, but why is there no products coming up here? Okay, I need to see how much is actually coming. We should be at that 1,060. 1,067, somewhere around there is what we should be at. 162, 165, we're getting there. 167, 154. It's still calibrating. Like if you look at this, it's got a little bar underneath as it's calibrating the flow of products that are going through it. If this settles at that 166, 167 mark, we'll be okay. I think we're going to be pretty close to that. So it does look like we've got some products flowing in here. Wait. That's only... How many is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, this is right. $14 times 75 plus 17 is there. Yeah, we're at our target. So occasionally we're tricking a tiny bit in the overflow. I'm going to delete this out because that doesn't need to be there. That could just go straight in there like that. And you can be nothing. You're a no line, you're an overflow, that's an any. Okay, if everything worked out right, we should have 1,200 items, 1,200 items, 1,200 items plus 3, 6, 668 items per minute. Let's see if that balances out to that number. It's not really climbing there, is it? That's 375. That's a long ways to go. What isn't connected? Aha! That's not connected. That's why we were getting some overflow. That's why you use the little flow meters. Man, what a difference that makes. Having these little flow modules on there so you can see what kind of a rough idea of what products are running. It's just to give you that little snapshot. Okay, is everything working the way it's supposed to be? And this seems to be working the way it's supposed to be. So we got 36, we got like just over 3,800 bottles out of this. So for giggles, what are we going to do? We're going to do our packager. I want to do some math on this now and see what this is going to look like. So we need to input in our empty containers into the bottom of this, and we're doing bottle packaged water. Let's crank this right up to... This is consuming, one packager will consume 150 cubic meters of water and 150 containers. So what did I say we had? We had 1,200, 2,400, 3,600, 38. 3,800 divided by 150. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. No, wait. Ah, son of a bitch. You can't. Oh, I don't need to. I was thinking going, oh man, why don't we add more of the summer sloop? But it doesn't consume anymore when you have the summer sloop in there. So I'm not really worried about that. My biggest thing is consuming the water. So this stands to consume, we're going to say 3,800 water. So let's go back here. And see what kind of a difference that's going to make on this alumina solution / scrap aluminum manufacturing. Because the water canisters can be dumped into an awesome sink. So you're basically are awesome sinking water. And other than that, I can't figure out, like, other than, like, I've got limestone and quartz that I can run through manufacturing lines to be able to consume some of the water. Okay, so what is this consuming? This is 350 water. So I can do... That one group of oil, that one bit of plastic that I'm using over there, just running through the math in my head, basically looks after all of the wastewater for one belt of bauxite. That sucks so bad. I'm gonna have to get all the sulfur. Okay. I gotta do some figuring here right now. I want the converter. And I want this to make limestone from sulfur, and we're going to just crank the crap out of this. So 50 sulfur per minute will make 600 lime. Okay, wait. This might be okay. Hold on. Satisfactory wiki. Bringing the wiki back. Satisfactory wiki, and I want to look to see how much sulfur there is on the map. I don't know, why is the Satisfactory wiki page not loading? There it is. Sulfur. There is 10,800 sulfur. Okay. So 10,800 divided by 50 is 216. 216 times 600 is 129,600 limestone. Wet concrete. $300 limestone. Is 432 times 250 will consume 108,000 cubic meters of water. So 108,000 divided by 350 is enough to take care of 308 of the scrap alumina manufacturing wastewaters. And it will take $308 divided by 10. It'll take care of 30 conveyors worth of the wastewater. And then I can take care of a bit more. We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe another 5 conveyors worth of in the plastic, maybe 10 conveyors worth in the plastic. Plus, I'll have the, how much limestone is there on the map? Let's wiki that. Well, not wiki, Satisfactory wiki. Let's look up limestone. There is 69,300 limestone already in the map. So that's going to get me another 2/3 worth. So that's going to get me closer to, we're at 30. We'll say 30. We'll say 40. Add another 30. That gets us 70. And then how much quartz is there? Raw quartz. 13,500 raw quartz. And if we select the recipe for making pure quartz, that's going to consume 935 water to 168.5 quartz. I might end up having to rely on using wastewater in our iron manufacturing. I don't want to have to do that. So for every line that we end up doing, I'm going to end up having to bring some iron over here and start actually turning the iron into, because I don't think there's anything else I could do any conversions on. I don't want to turn coal into quartz because the coal we're going to need for making steel. Bauxite is already being used. Like we can't do anything with that. I don't want to make uranium. I don't want to make more limestone with the iron. It's going to be a head scratcher. This is a chat like that. Obviously, there's a reason why they've designed, or why this is an actual challenge to do this, is you have to factor in all of these waste materials when you're building this stuff, and it can get a little bit problematic in just dealing with how you're. This is taking the bauxite, moving it into alumina solution, and then taking the alumina solution, moving it into scrap aluminum, and then dealing with the wastewater. And there's no way to just dump wastewater. I wish there was a way you could just be like, that's it, you don't need it. It's just water. Pump it straight back into the ocean. Like, it's fine. Industrial water waste is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll drink it. I mean, we pretty much drink that out of our tap now. Yeah, this is going to take a lot of afterthought on this to be able to figure out exactly what we got to do. But I have options. I can make plastic into bottles, and I can bottle some of the water and throw it into the bin. There's lots of limestone out there. I can gather up the limestone, and we can be making wet concrete and then dump it into awesome sinks. I can gather up the sulfur. I could run the sulfur through. I have enough reanimated SAM to be able to run it through the converter to turn it into limestone, to get us more limestone, to turn that into more wet concrete and dump it into the awesome sink. And then there's the actual raw quartz out there that we can run through and turn into pure quartz. That's going to consume some water. We're literally going to be using every single node on this map except for uranium. Uranium is the only thing not being consumed. It would be if we actually had to like build the power system for this, but because I'm running with zero power, it doesn't really matter at this point. But easily I'm going to be bringing this game to its knees. But that's something anyway, I guess. Did we learn anything today? Even though on the to-do list it looks like we're halfway through it, we're not halfway through it yet. I'm going to put this awesome sink back up here. And we're going to reconnect this back to this. Because we got a lot more planning to do down here than what we thought. And I just got a lot more materials that I got to gather out in this freaking planet too, and bring it all in. Just gather everything, all the iron, all the coal, all the everything. Just bring it all over here. I just want to make a screw, damn it. Actually, I want to make 10 million screws, but I just don't know how to get there yet. Is what you're doing big like in the old Minecraft series? Take whatever I did in my old Minecraft series and multiply it by 1,000. That's how big this project is basically going to be. I guess the thing to do is just build each section as it comes and go from there. I think that's really all I can deal with right now. I don't think this needs to be awesome sunk right now because it doesn't matter if those... I know how much is available in those conveyors. What I do want is I want a accumulation put here for the alumina solution. So we're going to put a fluid buffer in line right here. Production. I want to pipe this. And we are going to color coat this to alumina solution white. And I think we're going to throw a check valve on that too. Customizer, alumina solution white. So you are making 300 per minute and you're using 250. And what is 1200 divided by 250? 4.8. So let's put 4 of these out. At the right spacing here. Which is based off of the water production. And it's the input of the water. Is what we're basing that on. Does that make sense? I think that completely makes sense. I think I'm just like overthinking exactly everything that needs to be done all at once, which made me feel just... Today was a feeling of absolute utter overwhelmness in the scope of the project. I got to take smaller bites of this sandwich and try not to get it all built in one go. I think that's the approach I got to go with. We'll get one conveyor functioning. We're going to do this one conveyor at a time. And whatever solution we need to be able to get rid of the wastewater, we'll deal with it at that time. And then as we run out of that way, so the first way I'm going to deal with it is with limestone. So we'll gather up limestone, and when I run out of limestone, I'll go out and I'll gather the quartz. And when I run out of quartz, we'll go out and gather the sulfur, and then I'll turn that sulfur into more limestone, and then we'll use that for making wet concrete. When I've run out of that, then we'll move into the plastic containers. When I run out of that, then we're kind of done with the bauxite. We can't go any further with it. No, that's wrong. I can then focus on actually using it in the production line with our iron, turning the iron into pure iron ingots. We've got a way to do this, and I just got to do it in small chunks and not try to think of it all at once. I think that's probably the best way to do it. When was the last time that you played Minecraft? I want to say it was maybe 1.20, 1.21, somewhere around there. They were just getting rid of all of this junk out of the way here. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go there. Conveyor hole. Not a conveyor hole. Pipe hole. And then I think I said I wanted to put a valve on these just because I want to just make sure that it's always working. And then we got to customize that with the blue. Okay, we're going to add the fourth one in here. No, put the water extractor in first. Line up the spouts. Right there, Frog. Welcome to the stream.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Are you already home from work tonight? That's early. Color code those. And that's going to go down. Connect those, connect that. Put our pump there. No, I think the minimum gamble is 10. You can't gamble 1. You got to gamble at least 10, I think is what it is. Okay, feed you in, continue this process along. I think I need to color code the refineries here too. I think I want to paint these white. Okay, so we got bauxite going in on 4 at 250. So 4 times 250, that leaves 200 left over. So we got to set one more of these up and then underclock it to 200. So what is that going to be an output to if we set this to 500? Oh no. Let's crank that right up again. I need to see what that looks like. Oh, I can't do it that high. We need this set to 300. Okay, that's the 600. So that's not making sense. 240. So why, if I set this at 300, does that jump up to 600, but that number doesn't change? What's 250 get us? That gets us to 500, but that's 208 input. Let's change this to 240. 240. 240 is the magic number there. Yeah, the cooldown's like 15 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 15 minutes. I can't remember what the actual time is, but you can only gamble like once, so... Oh, so that's like 240 is 100%. Okay, I think we're cooking with whatever I'm putting down here. Oh, you know what? That doesn't even need to be like that. It can be just straight loose in, because that should be an equal amount. Man, I am so stuck in my head tonight with this because I'm trying to think how this build is going to work out. Customizer, let's paint up some water extractors. I'm going to edit those. Can I edit those default ones? Let's go to the customizer. Yes, I can. I kind of want this to be just straight blue. So we're going to go 218, 1.39, and select color. And then we are going to... Oh, it automatically changed them. That's perfect. And then I'm going to go to this other one. I'm going to edit this to just be 47.2.96. Yeah, that makes them look a lot better. They're actually all white. There's not any of the like yellowy orange accent to it. And the water is all blue. Okay, so technically this is one conveyor's worth of alumina solution taken care of. So now I got to deal with each one of these alumina solution lines. Which is 600 alumina solution per minute. Production. Refinery. You know what? We're going to come out a ways too. And we're making electrode scrap aluminum. And what did that work out to? That's 450. Whatever this was, I think it was 500 per. Yeah, that worked out well. Because then that's 300 alumina solution that we're dealing with. So two of these machines deals with one of these. And we're going to customize this to... We're going to chrome these. Because they're going to be making aluminum. So for the fluid logistics, because I didn't want to deal with the slosh crap that we were having before, I think what I'm going to do is we're going to build our water out this way. Or not water, the alumina solution, and we're actually going to build this input properly. And I think on this section, what I might do is I'll bring the petroleum coke in below it. I think that might be a better option. Of course, I put the wrong frickin' lifts here. That's going to go like this. This is going to go like that. We're going to grab 2 more of these little T's. Like so, like so. 1 more of these. Right there. And we're going to bring that down. And then this line is going to go straight up here. I don't like that. That's auto. Let's go to straight in that. Just didn't look right. All right, customizer. Because this is all still alumina solution. Oh, come on. Just select it. There we go. Okay. I guess that's something. And then we're going to delete out this section. Because I want to be able to see under here. Because we're going to bring the wastewater down a level. I think is probably our best option here. You're going to go there. You're going to go there. Let's grab some pipe. Auto that down. How does that not build? There should be no reason why that doesn't build like that, because that is no different than any of the other spots that I built out there. Like, builds there, but I won't build it out this way? That's ridiculous. Okay, well, I'll noodle those ones then. This I need to change back to auto. And then this will have to be a noodle again. Okay, so that's that. And what can I do with this? Let's just use a smaller fluid buffer on these. For each of these lines, just so that we can, I don't know, monitor the flow of water. And I want to get rid of the slosh on it. So we are going to valve it. And then we're going to customize these. So our wastewater production, whatever, it's going to have to get dealt with at this end. Okay, I guess maybe I should bring that line back. I decided to keep going at this, and after I said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this right now. We'll do one section at a time. But then my brain malfunctioned, and I forgot that part. Let's throw a conveyor hole right there. This whole row right here isn't in the right spot. That's nice. I'm so glad that I built it that way and like totally screwed that up. Okay, that's an input side. This is going to go all the way back down here again. What did I decide? I'm going to bring the product down, actually down below, aren't I? So I think what I'll do is I'll delete this out. We're going to remove this, and this, and this, and this. We're going to bring this right down. And we're going to throw some conveyor holes in here. And then this is going to come down like so. Now this helps me line up exactly where I want. So we're going to conveyor... No, I want conveyor splitters for this. You're going to input from that side, and I'm going to replace this one. Delete this. That lines up. Okay, so what is this going to look like? You've got to be an input then. Oh, I didn't grab smart splitters. Son of a monkey. These have to be smart splitters. Input, input. Delete these and reconnect them again. There we go. And then I can run my conveyor over. We're going to bring it to... This line's going to be coming from here. Here. Okay. Coming up with a more permanent solution to our build problems here. So that is what one tank is going to look like, but it still doesn't deal with... So we can't actually hook any of this up until we have the wastewater dealt with, because I can't starve out my oil line for the Petroleum Coke. And that is 200 of the Petroleum Coke that we've used on that. So this one line is actually going to go a fair ways for us. Okay, so we can add the next set to go with the conveyor floor holes. Okay, maybe I've just been overthinking this. I think we're going to be okay. My internet is re-alive. Your internet crapped out on you, did it? I had that issue at the beginning of the week where my internet was just... It was not participating the way it should. Okay, we're going to add this in now. Bring it down. I don't want that because that's not... The shape sucks. I need to change it back to default. Ah, auto is what I want. Remember the old Windows XP laptop I used to watch streams? I tried it, not sure if I ever told you. Now my laptop has a Core 2 Duo. I stepped up from a 1.7 gigahertz Pentium M. Core 2 Duo, man, that's still got some age to it. This one needs to be a straight connect. Straight. And then customize color code. I think once I reload, it refreshes those colors. Okay, so now we got to go under here and continue with this. I'm going to put these down because it just makes it easier to line up the smart splitters. 1, 2, and then reconnect them. That clicked. That clicked. Okay, so that's 400 now of our 1200 Petroleum Coke. Oh, I didn't color code these. Customize, water. Fortune will do more than my 144p though. It can watch at 720p. My internet won't allow that though. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do to fix this? Factory default that, and then repaint them again. Just to get rid of that orange. I don't want the orange look. Zoink, zoink. Okay, floor hole time. This is gonna go here. This is gonna go here. Oh, you know what? I haven't even done the output side of this. We'll add a half slab. A half output. Which way should it be? I think like this. Run this along here. Oh my god, that's a ridiculous amount of... 1,000 alclad or scrap aluminum that I'm going to end up having to merge into lines, and I'm going to need a lot of room for the output design of this. Of course I do. Why not? Why not be more complicated than it is? Okay, if that's the case, let's take this out. And I'm going to move these to, like, out here to give us more room for dealing with the output of the aluminum scrap. Logistics. Need my check valve. You're gonna go there. You're gonna go there. Customizer. We'll change these back and then put them back to blue again. And then now I'm going to have enough room here to deal with the output logistics of this. Which at this point is going to be a smart splitter coming out of this line here. Have I ever been to none of it? No, I've never been to any of our territories at all. I've been to British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Ontario, and that's it. I've never been to Manitoba, never been to Quebec, never been to any of the maritime provinces or Newfoundland, and then none of the Northwest or any of the territories. Priority merger. We are going this way. That's going to go straight like that. This is going to come up like this. I'm going to back this up. Conveyor splitter, we're going to go right here. We're going to go in. Create our little buffer. Change this back to default. There we go. So you're set to any and you are set to overflow. Oh, that's not quite the right angle, is it? Okay, so we will move this out a little bit more. Delete this. Delete this. So instead of here, we're going to come out to there. And you're going to 90 degree in. You're our high priority line. I need to go back to default. That could be straight that way. Would you ever go to the territory? If so, which one? I don't know if I would ever, like, I mean, maybe one day it'd be nice to go up there, but I mean, I've never really had a desire to travel into our territories. There's not much up there. There's, once you get to a certain elevation or a certain latitude, there's not even any trees. It's a lot of rock and shrubs and ice and snow. And, yeah, no, I don't know if I would ever venture up that way at all. Okay, so this will be 1,200 items per minute on this line. And this should be 800 because we pulled. Oh, wow, this is not. We're going to have to do straight lines in. It's kind of unavoidable. Because the next line here is also going to be a merger at this. Because this has to come up into here. What distance is too close for an elevator to fit in there? Hold on. Oh, that works. Because then I'm going to need another splitter out this side. To combine here. Any and overflow. And that's coming out to this. What a complicated pile of woohoo this is. So, we're 1,000 going in here. We're taking 200 from this. That takes it to 800. Then this is going to be a 600 line. So this will have to go from here to here. Which means this has got to go like this. And then we got to throw in another one of these short little hops. And then we also have to climb up with it. I think we might have to play around with this a little bit too on the dealing with the logistics of the outside of this. Because every one of these outputs on the priority merger. See, this is 1,000 going in here, so this one needs to be... No, I need to keep the priority here because this one's the overflow. This might take a little bit more thinking to be able to deal with the output on this. I'm going to have to actually see it running to see if it's going to be effective. Because, yeah, 1,000, we're taking 2 off of it. This is 600 going in here. This will be... It'll take 600 from this line. So these two will basically like swap back and forth. Which would leave 400 left on this one. So it'll take 800 off of this one. So you would need to be the high priority. You would be low priority. But then you would still... If you're high priority, you're not going to overflow. So we always have to make sure on this one that the direction we're going is the high priority so that this can overflow properly. Is basically what that's going to come down to. And then we are going to be dropping this down here like so. Oh, but this one I have to switch to noodle, that's right. And we'll go back to auto build. We'll connect these in here first. Hook our pipe up. Actually, we're just going to grab the pipe since we're going to have to color code it anyway, because it won't fix those lines. And then we're throwing our little pumps on here, or our valves, to prevent backflow. And then let's change the color of this. All right, I think we're making headway. What time is it? It is 2 o'clock in the morning. Holy crap, I gotta kill myself. I didn't realize how late it was. Holy snaps. We've been streaming for almost 4 hours. Okay, what did we get out of this? It's gonna be a lot of work. I think it's coming together as somewhat of a plan of dealing with it. Quit hitting that button. We're going to have to rip into dealing with the water. The wastewater is our biggest stumbling block, but I'm thinking that I'm coming up with a plan for that. We're going to start with limestone. We'll get as much limestone as we can get and kind of go from there. And yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to build another floor level above our highway here too, because I'm kind of getting sick and tired of jumping over all the lines that are coming in on it. So we're going to have to build up on that floor elevator, or our center highway through the entire map here. Because there's a lot of conveyors. There's a lot of products that are flowing on this right now. Between copper and deuterium, SAM ore, bauxite, and petroleum coke. Actually, there's a lot of petroleum coke. Of which, every once in a while, I get a little glitch where the oil it's not flowing properly, and I'm still trying to fix that little problem as well. Again, it's the fluid logistics in this game. Fluid kind of sucks to deal with. I'm hoping that we can avoid, by doing short runs like this for these particular builds, dealing with alumina solution and dealing with the wastewater, or dealing with the bauxite and petroleum coke, that we won't have the slosh issues here like we're running into in other areas in the map right now. All in all, I think it's coming together. It is a process, but I think we're starting to kind of logistically see what this is going to look like. And then above all this, because this is going to take up a lot of real estate dealing with all these bauxite lines, we're going to have to build the screw factory above all of this. So when we get to a point where we start converting the scrap aluminum into aluminum ingots, that'll be above. And then the aluminum ingots into steel beams, that'll be above. And then screws above that. So on and so forth. Rinse and repeat. We're getting there. So next time I'm going to finish building this section, and then we're going to hunt and get some limestone here from the furthest reaches that we've got to go to get it here. I want one full conveyor of actually, how much are we going to need? I don't even know. We'll figure that out next time. It's already well after 2. Guys, reach down, hit the like button on the video, subscribe if you are new to the channel, ring that notification bell. And promo time, if you do have a chance, check out my Amazon affiliate link in the description of the video or in my about page on my YouTube channel. And you can check out the various lists of items that I've got available on my page. There's my computer build is in there with some minor adjustments because I can't get the 4070 Super, or yeah, the 4070 Super doesn't exist anymore. So I've got the 5070 listed in there. And nobody in their right mind wants to buy 64 gigs of DDR5 RAM anymore. So I knocked it down to 32 gigs, which is still ridiculously expensive. But yeah, everything else is the same as what's in my build right now. And yeah, there's other things in there too you can check out. So with that all said, guys, you have a good one, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.